Porter, obviously, after several weeks of Big 12 play, you guys were able to get some rest this week. Just how needed was that, and what was the focus this week?
The focus is we were just intentional about we wanted to get better this weekend. This week, we wanted to get fresh legs, fresh mind this week. We worked on skill, we worked on shooting, we got recovery, and it was about us getting better the first couple days. And then obviously we turned our focus to Oklahoma State and what we have to do to play well against them. But that was it's and everybody goes through it. It's a grind. But we're the last team in the Big 12 to get that bye week, and it was coming at a good time. I felt that it's every 3 days since Christmas for these guys, and so about us getting fresh legs, fresh mind, skill work, free throws, shots, reads on ball screens, a lot of skill work in practice, not as taxing on your body. And then we went the last couple days have been about Oklahoma State.
Well, you mentioned John's surgery last night. How important was this week, maybe in terms of knowing that, being able to game plan and figure out what to do moving forward?
Yeah, we weren't sure. At first, we were waiting to see if he could recover without it, and then the decision was made to move forward. It went great. So there's we don't know the exact timetable, but we're hopeful about that. But there's clarity. There's clarity, and opportunity for some other guys to step up. We have some guys that we really want to step up in his absence.
Rob?
Piggybacking off of that, you mentioned last Saturday, it's up to you to try to get Luke back to where he needs to be. With the clarity of John, how much does that help maybe to pour that confidence back in the league?
Absolutely. Like Luke's a guy that our whole team pulls for. He's a freshman, trying to pour in confidence with him. He's got a tremendous shot, but he can do some other things really well. He can pass. He had 3 assists in the last Oklahoma State game. So it's just getting his confidence back. I think now knowing that John is definitely out, there's no him coming back in, and I thought we're going to need him to play. Yaya's defense and rebounding. He's a physical specimen. So maybe have some minutes with Yaya. His attitude's always been good with it. So those are the things we're thinking about.
Tom?
Last night you mentioned Waldo's going to be day by day. Just this week, how much progress has he made, and how much optimism is there?
It was a bad sprain, like we all saw it, but so we're not going to do anything to jeopardize it. It's hard because when you talk to Waldo, he's like, "I'm playing," and he said that at the last game. So we're just, we miss him. I mean, he was playing great on both ends, but we'll see. It's day by day. We still got today and tomorrow. We'll see, but that's kind of where we're at with it.
Mason?
Porter's second time around against OSU. What did you like from last time that you want to keep, and what are some things you maybe want to tweak going into this one?
I like the final score. What we want to tweak, I mean, obviously it was almost like a rock fight. Both of the defenses going at each other, and they're playing a lot faster. They've added Keller to the rotation. He kind of started playing a lot of minutes in our game, and in the last 2, he's playing tremendous. But they all are. I mean, I've said this all along. They're guards of Wright and Small, Williams, and now Keller's in that mix. I think Brandon Garrison's playing really well. You look at their last, since our game, they've beaten BYU and on the road at Cincy. Playing very well. So, they're playing faster. They're really athletic. They guard you. So we've got to be tougher offensively, and we've got to have some emotional control in this game. We didn't have as much emotional control last game for a lot of reasons, whatever that encompasses. And I think we got to understand that I really think they're playing really hard, really well right now, and their guards just get it going. And then obviously Garrison's playing really well.
Josh?
Yeah, you talked about it a little bit after the game on Saturday, but Mox kind of picked up a lot of those minutes with Waldo out. If that's the way it goes again, is he someone you imagine you'll be leaning on again tomorrow?
Mox got some minutes in that first half, and it just didn't work out in the second half. But man, I thought he did some good things. Reviewing it, looking at it, he had a great paint touch kick out for a 3. So yeah, definitely. Talking about Mox in the mix with Waldo being out, and he got a lot of reps in practice. So especially he got in the flow of the last game a little bit early. Like to see him do that again. We'll do that again, but he's got to be ready.
Colton and Chris?
Porter, I know you and and Mike have talked about keeping this rivalry going in future years, but maybe it's a neutral site or whatever. Is there anything, getting to play at Gallagher Iba for potentially the last time that you kind of, you take that in a little bit more, or just, knowing what it would mean to this fan base to get the win?
I personally don't think this is the last time we play. I see a world where this great rivalry continues. Don't know when that is, based on a lot of logistical factors, but I see a world in when this great rivalry continues.
Chris?
Coming off a bye week like this, is there anything you do different or any discussion with the players about how they need to come out fast even though they haven't played a game in a few extra days?
No, I mean, not an emphasis. We feel like we always got to come out and defend and get our pace going early, but nothing different based on having a bye week. We haven't really addressed that a little bit. I mean, I haven't. They might have talked about themselves, but for us, we've been really focusing on what we got to do to get better, and especially I think it gives us a pause to like just, all right, John's out, Waldo hasn't played, Waldo's out, depending. So let's go. There's no, and I thought they had that against Kansas. I really did. I mean, we were up 11 with 2 minutes left to go. Some of you, maybe it was you, one of you guys asked me, it was about the last 2 minutes of that Kansas game. And I said, you know what, I think you're right. I'm going to look at that. Holy cow. Those last 2 minutes of that Kansas game, we were up 11. We went in up 5, and we felt like it was almost a loss, right? Like we went, man, we had that opportunity. And so I say that with, our guys didn't go in there thinking like, man, we're down 2. They went in there believing. And that's the way we are too. And I think this bye week, to be able to decompress and let all that absorb, I think our guys had a great focus this week. And but we know, I mean, make no mistake about it. They all watched the game at Cincinnati. They've seen a ton of clips from the BYU game. They know that Oklahoma State's playing as good as a lot of people in this league, as anybody. And they got a lot of respect for them. Because they played them once, they know how good they are and how good they're playing.
Back to Holden.
Porter, I know we still got a little bit until the tournament, but this is kind of a crucial stretch for it. Is there a mindset too that just playing in this league and just how you guys are, that all you need is just to get in? And
you know what, we're playing. All along we've talked about playing maneuver ourselves to try to win a championship, and then obviously the games come close, but. Our guys, I think they started bracketology in September. So, for us, we've got to continue what can we take care of? What can we control? And that's the biggest thing, man. And it's hard nowadays with all the outside noise, but I think for us, it's what we can control, what we can do to get better. And, I think the whole country saw there's no better league in the Big 12. If they should take 10 teams. And there's no question about it. I mean, what we have to go through, there's not a down night. It's just different. Just look at the numbers. So we'll address that when it comes. But for now, let's control what we control. That's the game in front of us.
Any additional questions for Coach? Okay. Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.